Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Kerbal Space Program. Now, as you can see, I have made a few small modifications to the vehicle, increased the size of these engines, add some more fuel, and there's some more modifications you guys didn't see. I added some solid boosters, as well as some extra liquid fuel boosters here, extra tanks of liquid fuel, because I can, and just because I kind of needed the extra little bit of lift here. Now, I would have preferred to use an asparagus system on this bottom stage with more rockets and so on and so on and so forth, but unfortunately I cannot clear the tower. Every time I try to launch, I wind up whacking into it, and it's just not possible. I'm disappointed by that. I really wanted to just use asparagus system because it's generally more efficient than this tack it on sideways method. Oh well. So we're going to try for the money yet again, and this time we've got, well, a slightly more awkward lander. It's got a wider base, which is good because it means it should be easier or should be more stable to land it straight up and down if there's sideways momentum. But on the flip side, they are now sitting out here on these squishy little legs. Oh boy, I could very easily have a problem with that. So, come on, baby. Alright, now that we're on the launch pad, we are about as ready to go as we're going to get. You can see this little yellow thing poking out of the launch, or the tower over here. That's my problem, because this thing is just too fat. It doesn't fit in there. I can't even put something on top of this that's this size, because it's too fat. It whacks into it, and then the whole rocket's all foobar because it's funny and sideways and lopsided and just no good. Alrighty then. So, we're going to start by coming up here and raising all the gear that is supposed to be raised. Got 3 pieces here. Good, good. And now we're gonna come now we're gonna come down here and disable the gimbal on the 4 big Rockomax engines down here, because that will actually improve their fuel efficiency. Have them pointing straight down instead of wobbling around like a bunch of hyperactive children. We've got enough SAS and fins on the top of this thing to maintain our steady trajectory. So, we're going to activate the SAS, lock it in full power, and away we go. Doesn't take off with a great amount of speed, but as you can see, it very clearly accelerates to 50, 60 pretty quickly. So there's no point in burning at maximum thrust once you get to about 80 or so. You're not going to get much faster than that. As it is, I appear to have a problem. The craft is tipping. I don't have enough SAS on top, apparently. I am disappointed. Nope. And flight. And I did go into the files and fix them so that now I can go back to the vehicle assembly building instead of winding up in the spaceplane hangar whenever I have to redo these flights. So I did want to lock the gimbals, but apparently I can't lock the gimbals because I simply can't. Oh well, I don't want to add any more weight to this thing. It's already way too heavy. I've added so much weight it's not even funny. And there's enough duct tape on this thing to get a whole nother spacecraft into the air. Oh my. Alright, so let's try this again. Won't lock the gimbals this time. This time we should be able to get into the air. Don't want to try unlocking the gimbals mid-flight. It's not a good idea. You'll wind up with some really weird skiddly-wonkus sideways bullpucky going on. And you don't want that, trust me. Okay. Raise gear. All gear is now up. Good. Alright, lock the SAS. Full throttle and fire. Accelerating nice and quickly off of the launch pad here. Now there is one thing I forgot last time that we do have to do. We have to monitor these fuel tanks. That one's empty, that one is empty, this one is almost empty, and our next stage fires now. There we go. And now they are gone. And we are accelerating. We have passed the 100 mark. So I need to reduce my thrust because we only want to be maintaining at this speed. Additional thrust is a waste because of atmospheric drag. So we're going to try to keep it at 100 as much as possible, down to about 2/3 thrust. Good to go. Our solid fuel is about to run out, so I'm going to let it climb a little bit here because I'm going to lose some thrust. Away they go. Alright, need a little bit more. Oh, no, we don't need all that much more. Look at that, nice and stable. Okay, so passing the 6 kilometer mark. There goes 7 kilometers, and we're still accelerating. 165, 170 meters a second. This is good. Promising, promising, promising. We're still nice and centered. 9 kilometers. As soon as we hit 12 kilometers, we're going to start doing our gravity turn because we need to get into an orbit first and foremost before we can even think about getting to the moon. There's our 12,000 mark. 12,000 meters, that is. Got a little bit of it trying to twist to the side there. Ooh, nope, stay. I'm just going to bring it right over to a 45. Just all the way to a 45. Come on, right there. Okay, close enough. It's not straight, but at least it's on the right mark. Alright, now I'm going to increase my throttle. I am about halfway through the atmosphere here, so I'm not too afraid about wasting fuel at this point. And it looks like we're spinning around a little bit, but that's not too much of a problem as long as we maintain our course. As you can see, we have hit 900 meters a second. We're still technically on the surface, so we're going to see that little marker as to our direction of travel jog over. There it goes, when we hit the orbit. That is not a problem. Gonna get rid of that. Drag it over a little bit. Now, before I fire the engines for now, let's see what we're currently at. It looks like we're going to get to an AOPSIS of 108 meters. That is sufficient. That will actually get us out of the atmosphere. The only downside is it looks a little crooked. No, maybe not. Alright, so I'm going to add a maneuver here. And then we are slightly losing speed, just ever so slightly. Not much, but it's because we're still in the atmosphere. Haven't quite escaped it yet. So we want to get you to be approximately the same as this. Okay, that's close enough. You're a little bit higher, but, you know, whatever. Not going for anything terribly fancy, huh? Alright, now we need to drag over to our current target destination and do a test burn because our node is actually in 1 minute and 40 seconds. We probably need to start burning now. I doubt that there's actually enough thrust here to change that. So come on, come on. Come on, you're going too far. Alright, activate the SAS. We have to get on that point, and we have to get on it now. Okay, point achieved. Lock the location. Wait for the SAS. Alright, firing the engines. Using the SAS fuel. I've actually discovered that I'm going through SAS fuel, the monopropellant, very quickly at this point. Unfortunately, these engines appear to be unstable somewhere. I should have used the gimbling ones. Okay, so it looks like we will actually be able to... Okay, I think I can disable the RCS there. Let's try to save some of that. Looks like we will actually be able to achieve our orbit. We're actually burning a little bit early, so that's fine. Our node is in approximately 40 seconds, and we want to be burning up to 2 and then a little bit through the node, as far as I know, and I found that that works pretty well. I have no complaints about that. So, we're going to burn for, looks like about 20 seconds beyond the length of the node, but it should be good to go. Burning, burning, burning. Yeah, we're upside down, but, you know, whatever. Give Jebediah here a nice view of Kerbal before he leaves completely. Alright, so we're about halfway through these tanks. That one's empty. This one's still got most of its liquid fuel and oxidizer in it. And we have very nearly achieved our orbit. It looks like the direction of travel we wanted to go in is a little bit lower than our current traveling, but that's fine. We're not exactly intending to go back. We're intending to go farther out. Alright, so that's about as close as we're going to get to our intended maneuver. Don't need it to be exact. You can see how there's debris everywhere. These are just going to continue circling forever. I think that one is... No, that was a previous flight that actually is going to land here eventually. Alrighty then. So, where is the mun? The mun is there. So, actually... screw it. Direction of travel. We're going to disable the SAS, navigate just a little bit here with the SAS modules that are still attached. We've got a little bit of fuel left in these things, and so I want to try and establish a little bit of an eccentric orbit here to try and get out to the mun as quickly as possible. Target locked, good to go, and begin burn. We gotta watch this here. Make sure we don't go wandering, because I know these engines aren't exactly perfectly balanced, and if it starts to wander, we may have to kick on the monopropellant for a minute. It looks like we're going to be okay. No problems. Now, I'm not even going to bother looking at the map here. I'm just going to burn all the fuel that is in these stages as it is in an attempt to make my orbit as eccentric as possible. I need to go as far as possible. So, speed, 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 speed. Zoom, 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 you know, that kind of thing. And almost out. And... come on. Gone. Alright, so now we're going to kill the throttle. Disconnect the stages. Away with you, cover parts. You were useful, and now you are trash. Alright, now, our orbit is actually quite eccentric. I am rather impressed by the amount of eccentricity we were able to establish with that. Our fuel efficiency on that run was impressive. Now then, our current direction of travel being here, I'm going to continue burning on this direction of travel with the with the atomic rocket motors. For just a moment here, should not take much to push it out near to the mun. Alright, burnings. Okay, slow it down a little bit. Are we even? Are we at least even here? Close enough. Okay, so I can just look straight up here and establish right there. Perfect. Okay, so now, clearly, we are going to get there before the mun makes it around. In fact, I think the mun's probably going to land somewhere like here. So, landing, I don't think we're going to get on the mun this orbit, per se. But I can think of several ways that I might be able to do it if I wanted to use up all of my fuel. Instead, I'm just going to accelerate time here. Now, I can only accelerate so much because I am too close to Kerbal, but we can fix that once we get out to about here-ish. Alright, so let's fix that so that we can actually establish a steady time warp and not have to constantly manipulate it. We just want to do a burn right there at the... is it the aopsis? Aopsis? And this is the periapsis. Okay, at the aopsis, we just want to burn a little bit here so that we can get this thing up to about 500k. That's close enough. And that should prevent us from having any severe problems. Alright, so again, SAS disabled. Our direction of travel is all the way down there. We've got a lot less weight and a lot less encumbrance now, so just the SAS modules is sufficient. We can rotate this vessel without any problems. So we're gonna go over here, just like this, get all the way down. Where's that blue marker we're looking for? There it is. Ooh, jeez. Okay, so you can see our estimated burn time is only 7 seconds. The craft is much lighter, and with 4 regular-sized atomic rocket motors, we don't really have many problems. I mean, I could almost do that with the remaining monopropellant that I have. 49 meters a second? Yeah, I could probably do that with the monopropellant currently in this vehicle. But we're not going to do that. Now, we're going to accelerate time, because according to that, we've got an hour and a half before we actually get to the node. 40 minutes, 30, 20, 10, 9. Ooh, too much. Okay, that's okay. We can still do our burn right here. It doesn't need to be perfect, just needs to be close. Pointing like so, and Almost there. 3, 2, 1, and kill it. 0.2 meters a second. That's not too shabby. I've had worse. I've definitely had worse. So now I can click on this and get rid of it, and our orbit comes. There we go. All right. So now I should be able to accelerate and not have to worry about Kerbal sucking away my speedy time acceleration. Good. Okay, now there is a possibility we're going to run into some debris here, but I'm hoping we don't. Oh, and would you look at that? We have a mun capture right there just on our third go round. Isn't that glorious? Okay, so as you can see, it would appear that according to that, either we're going to get sucked into the gravity of the mun and we're going to slingshot around it, or we're going to smack face first into the mun. I'm going to bet we're probably going to smack face first into the mun, but let's try and avoid that. Yeah. Okay. So yes, it's definitely a smack face first into the mun situation. But that's okay, because that's kind of what we wanted. Now there's less for me to worry about when it comes to slowing down. Alright, so, but we are moving fairly quickly, and, yeah. We're moving very quickly towards the mun, and we're still 191 kilometers out. I'm going to allow that to continue because we obviously want to approach the mun fairly quickly here. The more time we have to spend, the longer it takes to get there. Alright, speed it up a little bit. Come on. Come on. Okay, now we are traveling about 559 meters a second. We are not far from the mun. Less than 300 kilometers. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to try and establish, first of all, we want to kill all of our directional velocity. That's not a problem. Just come over here, we can drag the marker, and we want to get the little directional travel right onto that dot. Shouldn't take long here. Little more. Little more. Okay, almost there. Looks like I'm a little too far this way. So we're going to burn here for just a sec, and that ought to do it. Okay, so that looks relatively well centered. So I'm going to now bring it back, and I'm going to face straight down, right where we want to be. Good. And now if we look at our orbit, it's not too bad. I could definitely be doing better, but live and learn. Alright, so now I'm going to actually rotate a little bit so that I'm facing north on the mun. I want to see which direction it establishes as north. Okay, now stop. Now if I go north, what happens? It does actually go up. So north on Kerbal is sideways. Entertaining. Or is that just my view being all funky? Probably just my view being all funky. Alright, so get it. And then established. Okay, wait for it to settle down. When the wings stop twitching is usually a good sign that we've found it. And that's about as good as we're going to get right there. So kick off the SAS. Now, how far are we from the surface? We are 200,000 meters. We've got a ways to go before we get down there. So we're going to hang on. We're just going to hang on and accelerate time here. We're just going to do 50. 100,000. Okay, we're going 60. Alright, how long is it going to take me to lose 100 meters a second from 600k? Whoa, what are you doing? Get back on that center, you twit. Push that thing back to the center. We don't want to be moving. Come on. Back into the middle. Back to the middle. There we go. Little bugger got away from me. Okay, so not too much. I'm gonna guess 40K. I hope. I really hope. We've got a long ways to go. Well, instead of accelerating, I am actually going to start slowing down here, but not very quickly. I want to be more power coming out than I am being pulled towards Kerbal, because I don't want to accelerate anymore. It's hard enough to slow down as it is. But with these 4 engines, I'm going to guess I can slow down probably from 20K. Easy. Even going 400. I don't know. It's difficult to tell. I actually know. Alright, I'm going to deploy the landing gear. For some reason, one of them didn't deploy. That's nice. Well, okay. We'll just manually deploy you then, you little Keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay, so 400 meters a second, 40 kilometers off the surface. I'm not comfortable with that. I'm going full burn here. I want to slow down. I don't like going so dang fast. It's nice and quick. That slowdown is pretty good, though. Definitely slows down really good. So check our map. We're still headed off in that direction pretty good here. But oh well. Alright, 250 kilometers. Okay, so I was able to kill 400 meters a second in about 5 kilometers. That's not too shabby. So we're going to continue going until about 10 kilometers up, and then we will slow down again. 20. Alright, as you can see, the surface of the Mun is rapidly approaching. I'm beginning to burn again. We're going to come over here and drag the direction of travel back towards center again. The slower you're going and the closer to the Mun you get, the more obvious it is where you are actually traveling. So we're going to burn from right there. Good. Nice and centered, and now just burn it straight down because we're losing... Oh dear, I may have burned too late again. Slow down. Come on, slow it down. Come on. 3,000 meters, 150 a second. 2,000. Oh crap, I'm not going to make it, am I? Oh, god damn it. Ah! Of course, Jebediah is like, nope. Check Testa. I've survived. I'm on the moon, bitches. Oh, yeah. Break it down. Yeah. Can I deploy the gear? Can I still deploy the gear? Yes, I can still deploy the gear. Wait, does that mean I have lights? I have a light. It's a very crappy light, but it's a light. I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm doing here, but I'm really enjoying myself for some reason. Whoop. See, if I could navigate the Mun like this, would be ridiculous. Okay, so that failed miserably. Yet again, I have landed on the Mun with way too much force. At least Jeb survived this time. Oh dear. Maybe I should just make a lander that's actually not so dang heavy. I know I could. That'd be really cool to be able to land back on Kerbal with a plane. Even if it was a tiny plane. It would be a plane, and it would fly. Maybe I can make the plane tinier. Then it might actually be able to land. Join me next time.